Day I'm hustling, 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 hustling,
It's your
hustling,
boy,
hustling,
Ski.
hustling, 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 hustling.
Oh, welcome back to the Matrix. You're not just in the Matrix. You are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today we got ourselves a banger daily market news analysis. What is up? How's everyone feeling out of 10? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you guys are spamming that like button, hitting the share so other people can spam that like button. Let's get this party started, y'all. All right, we're gonna try something today. We'll see how you guys behave. You guys are on probation with me. So we'll see. I'm going to do a live stream on TikTok for everybody, but only the members can comment. We'll see if I've been only doing members only live streams and I have had 0 issues. So if we got to go back to that, that's what we will do. Make no mistake about it. I have no problem. But I'm going to give you guys a chance today. So spam that like button, hit that share so other people can spam that like button. All right, let's get into it. Cali XT, thank you for the lightning, bro. And the heart, yes, savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
All right, as of the time of recording, Bitcoin is sitting at $83,255. And this is where I think that we're at. The spring, to me, has been confirmed as in. And we'll see. I do believe that we're probably working on the test right now of Wyckoff accumulation. That is where I believe us to be. And here is the textbook. Mick, thanks for becoming a member, bro. You savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Double secret probation. I know. Smith, it's crazy out here, bro. Every day we're dealing with the nonsense. But that's okay. I'm just testing. I'm like a toddler, just testing to see what I can get away with. Cheers, mate. Cheers, brother. Thanks for the support. Let's go. Got my members only jacket on now. Let's go, Cali XT. You savage, bro. I appreciate you. All right, so the spring to me has been confirmed as in, and most likely, we're working on the test right now. That's what I think. So the test would take us somewhere between 80K, as low as even 77, even 76K. All that is on the table. I have my limit orders in for 78K. I have my limit orders in for 77K. I'm already currently in a Bitcoin long. This will just be adding to my position. But I have a very strong read as to where Bitcoin is at. What's up, Ski? What's up, bro? Good to see you out of the night. Hello. What's up, fam? What's up, everybody? So yeah, the test would take us back to 80K, 77K, somewhere in that neck of the woods. But ultimately, it would just be a higher low. That's what I think that we're working on right now. This move right here. And then we'll start to get our higher low structure. The LPS would be around 88K, somewhere in that neighborhood. And then the sign of strength would ultimately be around 95, as high as $100,000, somewhere in there. But I think that there's opportunities here. I do think that Bitcoin right now is just a beat ahead of the altcoins. When we look at the total 3 specifically, this to me also is the I mean, this is still your spring, or maybe perhaps your selling climax even. But I do think with this, we would expect the total 3 to come back to 730 as low as 707. That's my target for that. I do think that relatively this is the bottoming structure where Bitcoin is working like being done with the bottoming structure. You know what I'm saying? Do I need to resubscribe again? It looks like no. You shouldn't be, because it's on subscriber only chat. So you should be good. If you can chat, you should be good. Bitcoin is holding that 80 to 85. Let's spring up. We could go to 77. That would be perfectly fine. But I do think that we are working out of this bottoming structure. And for Bitcoin specifically, I think that the bottom is in 74,400. I put that up. Can you get a double spring? No. If you get a double spring, that means that I miscalculated this. You know what I mean? So that would just mean I was wrong about this would mean that I don't see that happening though. But I could have things wrong, sure. But no, that's not a textbook thing that happens is a double spring. No. You don't typically get. That'd be like saying, like, do you get a C19 crash and then another C19 crash? No, not generally. Not generally. No, it's like you don't get it. Big D, thank you for the chili, fam. You savage.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
So I think there's lots of opportunity here. We talked about this yesterday. Everything, everywhere, all at one time. Everything is happening all at the same time. The DXY has broken critical levels of support, although it is finding a little bit of support. How oversold? It's pretty damn oversold. So it's hard to say that it's actually broken this. I think it's going to find support here. But this is a critical level. I mean, this is in the red. So it's most likely going to have some sort of bounce here, but gold is absolutely parabolic at the micro 3618, very near it. The micro 3618 is 287, and then the macro 2618 is 333. I definitely think that gold is going to hit that, but I think that gold is peaking. I think that gold is working on its buying climax, which, if you don't know, this is the inverse relationship. This has the inverse relationship of Bitcoin and crypto typically. Hi, what's your ICP prediction? My ICP prediction is still the same, $30-ish for retracement and then $100 for parabolic. So all that's happening at the same time. Bitcoin is working on a bottoming structure at the same time that the DXY is at a critical multi-3-year low, at the same time as Ethereum Dominance is at a multi-3-year low. At the same time, Bitcoin Dominance is working on the reverse of a spring, in my opinion, and also is red hot at the same time. All of these are happening at the exact same time. Bitcoin is working on its bottoming structure. Bitcoin Dominance is working on a topping structure. Ethereum Dominance is at the multi-3-year low. Gold is at a parabolic run, and the DXY is at a multi-year low. All at the same time. Everything, everywhere, all at one time. Does that mean tomorrow go to the store and pick out your Lamborghini, what color you're going to get? No, I don't think so. This is a very macro analysis, but I do think that something certainly is brewing. Something is brewing for sure. So in your opinion, what does that mean for our investments? Well, I think that it's brewing that we're going to have a significant move for Bitcoin. I think that by the end of May, Bitcoin goes to the minimum, the sign of strength, which would be 100K, 95 to 100K. And the total 3 minimum does a 50% move between now and then. I think Ethereum is grossly oversold. I always crap on Ethereum, but when you see ETH Dominance being at this level right here that it's at, ETH is either, like, this means one of two things. This is what it means for Ethereum and everything in the Ethereum ecosystem. And to pretend like the total 3, the total 2, and altcoins have not been absolutely crushed because of Ethereum's just lackluster performance, I think would be naive. But it means one of two things. It means A, Ethereum is going to bounce. Ethereum, in my opinion, has a 35% chance of only going to $3,300 from here before it rolls back over, reaccumulates. And I think it has a 65% chance of going to a new all-time high of $7,000 plus. That's the more likely scenario. So scenario number one, what this means is Ethereum is oversold and is going to bounce from here. Scenario number two is Ethereum is actually dead. I think it's scenario number one. And I think we don't need Ethereum to go, by the way. We don't need Ethereum to go, in my opinion, or Bitcoin for that matter. We don't need Bitcoin to go to $100,000 or $200,000 to have some major movements. We don't need Ethereum to go to $15,000 to have some major movements. Ethereum could go to $3,000. Bitcoin could go to $100,000. And that could be enough of a rotation of capital to have some serious moves. So in my opinion, that's what it means. In my opinion, Ethereum is in the very near future. I'm talking weeks and months, not hours and minutes. Near future for me is months, not weeks, months. But Ethereum is going to have a pretty significant bounce, and Ethereum Dominance is going to have that as well. Okay. So that's what I think. Which out of your top plays have changed your price prediction? Out of your top plays changed your price prediction? None that I'm tracking right now. I do find it interesting too. And listen, I'm not a narrative guy. I really don't care that much. But allegedly, and we'll see, we have more numbers to come out about this, but allegedly, 130 countries are coming to the tariff negotiations. If that is true, that could be insane. You know, I think that definitely China is going, and I'm not a fundamental expert, nor am I a tariff expert. I am a technical analyst. Show me the charts, I will tell you the news. But I just think that something is brewing. And perhaps, you know, I don't know what the narrative is going to show up, but I am certain that one will show up. But perhaps many of the countries do come to the table. Many of the countries do negotiate. And maybe this could be a net positive for everyone. We'll see, though. 10x short to upper 70s, then long to 90s a good play. I don't do 10x. I don't do 10x like that. But I'll be honest, too, with Bitcoin. I am certain that the spring is in. I have a lot of confidence that the spring is in. Okay, let me analyze this with my confidence level. I am not confident, however, as confident that the spring is in as the test is not. I don't know that to be true. Right? So I theorize that this that the test is not in. But there is a scenario where you could say, if you look on the 5-hour instead of the daily, that this right here was the test. So we'll see. We'll see over the next few days which one is true. But I have a extremely high confidence that this was the spring. And I have a good deal of confidence that we're going to get our test, which will be minimum 80K before making higher low structure, going ultimately to 95 to 100K. But we'll see how the next few days play out. But doing 10x to me is not low leverage. You might think of it as low leverage, but if you're wrong by 10%, your entire trade is wiped out. 10% moves happen every single day in crypto. You know what I mean? So that's my thoughts on that. Scotty, thanks for the heart. Bush says Rose. I still like Rose here. Rose is like a lot of the Ethereum coins. It's just being beaten down because Ethereum has been beaten down, and I don't think anyone would have, even myself, who was one of the biggest Ethereum haters known to man, I did not predict or have an inclination that Ethereum was going to get crushed this hard. I did not think that that was going to happen. So I think Rose and some other coins are kind of bystanders of that. But, you know, long term, that's a really good opportunity. Damn it, late to the game. Ski, what's up, my boy? Same old same. Do you think Chainlink could hit $100? My low case is $38. My medium is $78, and then my bull is $178. So it would be somewhere between my medium and my bull case. So it's plausible. I don't know if $100 is probable, but I would say it's plausible. It's not a crazy prediction. You think we're going to 80K in a short from 85K? I think that that's probable. And like what I just explained earlier, as my read on Bitcoin, I have an extreme level of confidence and certainty that the spring is in already. I do not, however, have the same extreme read confidence that the test is in or not. I think it's a high probability that we are working on this move right here, and we're about to work on the test. But if you look on the 5-hour, you could say that this was the spring and this was the test. And then this is your higher low structure. So I have less confidence and certainty whether or not the spring is in. I think it's very probable that it's not in, and we're working on it right now. But my level of confidence and certainty that the spring is in is very, very high. Has ETH bottomed? I think so. I think that the altcoins are a beat behind Bitcoin. When expected completion your ebook? I remember correctly you mentioned this not long ago. I'm still working on it. It should be very, very soon. I have some... it'll be very soon. Just put it like that. Subski, how is Flux chart looking? Same thing. Long term, lots of opportunity. You would put Flux in the same category as Rose, same category as Quant. Very good projects. Very good value, very good opportunity, and are kind of bystanders of Ethereum's lackluster performance. Does that make sense? ADA minimum of $2. I think so. Do you think we see an alt season Q3? I think we'll see a run of sorts between now and the end of May. Q3. I think it's Q4. So November is when I think. That's what I've said from the very beginning. So I think more likely November. And this is what I'm going to say too. You know, we talked about this a little bit. So I have a fractal over here from 2021. And I think that this is a strong plausibility right here. Like you have all these same violet moves. So you have this like this wick right here. That was same right here. This is what I'm calling the, let me go on the daily. Even your LPS, this wick right here is this wick right here. The selling climax is what I'm calling. And then your spring, that's what the FTX violet movement was. I think a lot of people are talking out of both sides of their mouths in a sense of, you know, they'll tell you that and I just made a video about this, but they'll say that this is the worst bull market of all time. Okay, I'll buy that for $1. They'll say 4-year cycle is over. Okay, I'll buy that for $1. But then they'll turn around and say, get ready for the worst bear market of all time. Get ready. See you in 4 years, boys. It's like, okay, well, which is it? You had me in the first half, but you can't have your cake and eat it. You cannot talk out of both sides of your mouth. You cannot talk out of both sides of your mouth. Which is it? Either the 4-year cycle is over or it is not. Okay? So if you want to tell me that this is distribution, I'll buy that. If you want to tell me this is the markdown, that means that this is accumulation. That means we're already deep in the worst of it and it's beyond us. If you want to tell me the 4-year cycle is over, okay. You know what that means? It means that Bitcoin, in all likelihood, is going to behave like stocks. Long periods of bulls, short periods of bears. Okay, and I don't really care if the 4-year cycle is here or not. This is 114 days. You know, let's look at the Dow Jones. My God, look at this dead cat bounce, by the way. You know, how long was the last bear market was we in a downtrend for? 180 days. What about C19? Listen, I don't care about 4-year or anything like that. I'm looking at structure. So if you want to say 4 years over, okay, fine. I'll buy that for $1. But we're not going to talk out of both sides of our mouth and say, see you in 4 years. We're not going to say, you know what causes a violent bear market is a violent bull market. If you're going to tell me in one side of your mouth that this is the worst bull market of all time, okay, I'll buy that. But that means that this is going to be the best bear market of all time. And it means that in all likelihood, it's already done. And it means in all likelihood, retail is not going to be bullish until we're making all-time highs. My average is 33 on Flux. What do you think pullback will be before or after Friday? Can't come soon enough. A 33 on Flux I think is a pretty good price. In all honesty. Danny, thanks for the lightning, bro. You savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Do you think we see another alt season in Q1 of 2026? Listen, if it's true that 4-year cycle is done, I see no reason why not. And I see something brewing in the macro. I don't know how long it's going to take to play out, but I see gold being parabolic at the same time that Ethereum is at the lowest point it's ever been. At the same time, Bitcoin dominance is at the macro 702. At the same time, Bitcoin is working on accumulation, all at the same time. So I see something brewing right now in the macro. And you guys know me, I see things structurally, painfully in advance sometimes. So we'll see how long it actually takes to play out. But either way, I think that there's lots of opportunities, and I'm not going to fall for the trap of waiting for that one last dip, which translation means I'm going to buy when it's at an all-time high. What does it mean to you? It means that the worst is behind us for Bitcoin. I think that alts are just a beat behind. Altcoin is just a beat behind Bitcoin, but I do think that this is the spring too. I do think that something is brewing. I don't know what it's going to be. Like, I don't know what the narrative is going to be, but you guys know me. The narrative will show up. Whether it's going to be dividend checks, whether it's going to be Munty Printer Go Burr. I know China's already doing that right now. China is printing money crazy. already. In fact, what is the ticker for the chart for measuring China's money printing? How high can GRT go this bull run? Listen, brother, I am out on GRT. GRT has way too much inflation for me. Price equals supply plus demand. So easy way to check and see if something has good tokenomics is just look on CoinMarketCap. Okay, hold on. Okay, market cap is $758 million market cap. FDV is $838 million market cap. So that tells me there's a little bit of inflation left. But I know this past cycle, there was a lot, right? And we can tell because of the different violent movements. So I would actually probably put GRT in the same category as HBAR, of a really good fundamental project that had past inflation, i.e. from 2022 until 2024, 2025. And there's not much left, although there is a little bit. So I would count on a retracement. But I do think you have to battle the inflation, the past sins, a little bit. And I think this would be a more long-term play rather than a short-term play. Miss T, thanks for the rose.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Is China money printer CNY? Maybe. Let's see. There's a chart for that. I don't remember what it is. CNY. I think you might be right. Find out next time. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'll figure that out for next time. What's good, Ski? Swift coin. I was like, what? What are you saying, bro? Okay. You think Sol, XEP, and Sui are taking ETH market cap, which is why it's going too low? Yes, I do. Okay, XRP is, I assume, what you mean. I do think that Solana, XRP, Sui, HBAR are slowly eroding away at Ethereum's ecosystem. And I do think that Ethereum will eventually be dethroned from number 2. But I don't think it's going to be this cycle. I do think that Ethereum has a strong recovery from here, minimum to $3,000. But in all probability, it's going to recover to $7,000. But either way, even to $3,000, it's going to be plenty for coins like Quant, for coins like Flux, for coins like Rose. Ethereum getting back to $3,000, those coins are going to feel that move exponentially. That is what I think. Yo, Ski, and any assurance Solnic doesn't get hacked like he? Yes. I can assure you my Solnic is on a ledger. I can assure you I do not mess around with my bag. I do not mix, listen, I do not mix my holdings with any other website. If I want to mess around on Radium or any other website, I have dedicated wallets for that. And if I've never been on the website, I have a dedicated wallet just that has nothing in it. But I can assure you, Danny, I will not be messing on any websites with my 6low wallet or anything the Solnic Foundation's wallet. So yes, all of that stuff is on a ledger, and that's where it's going to stay. I don't mess around with it. I don't have other stuff that has anything to do besides Solnic on that? I think that's a great question. I think it's a valid and fair question. But that's my answer. So to answer you, my Solnic is on a ledger. The main team's Solnic is on a ledger. We do not mix like Solnic and our personal stuff, i.e. with Radium or any other doings or any other websites. And that's how we're going to keep it. And that is because I have a responsibility not only for myself and for my own lineage and for my own family, but I have a responsibility for you guys to take extra precautions and securities. And I think that we all have that responsibility. Spaces with Mario still on Friday. Yes, 3:30 Central Time, 4:30 Eastern Time. Me and Mario and Cliff will all be on a X Space. How's the Solnic roadmap progressing? It is progressing good. Working on the ebook, and the Solidity dev is still working on the pre-staking. That is coming along nicely. I just had a meeting with him today, actually. What's good, Ski? Dynex, same thing as Flux. Dynex minimum is a retracement. Do you still believe Mard says this is a meme coin supercycle? I don't know who that is. I think that, listen, this idea that meme coins are going to go away, I think is a fallacy. I think Solana, Base, Ethereum, as they rise, guess what? Memes are going to do that too. Does it worry you that one wallet holds 80% of Flux? Coin crap rich list. Send me the link for that. I'll take a look at it. Luxury cigar. Reviewer, thanks for the subscription, bro. You savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
I appreciate you, fam. Appreciate your support. Do you still like Rose even below the bear market lows? Yes, I think it's more likely, more probable it's just going to retrace, and I'm definitely going to de-risk probably 65% of my bag at the retracement marks, but I still think that there's lots of money to be made there. And I think that Ethereum minimum is going to retrace from here, which is $3,200. And I think that Rose and other Ethereum-based projects are going to feel the heat of that exponentially. Sup, brother, always. Just got in. Can you recap Bitcoin, please? I sure can. There's a lot of people on TikTok now. So we've talked about this. There's a storm a-brewing. There's a perfect storm that is brewing. And the storm is as follows. Bitcoin is working on accumulation, aka a bottoming structure, and not only working on a bottoming structure, deep in a bottoming structure, as in the worst of it, technically, textbook is behind us. While this is happening, Bitcoin Dominance is doing the opposite, working on a textbook topping structure at the macro 702. While the same time that this is happening, Ethereum is at multi-year lows at the same time. These are all happening simultaneously at the same time. While this is happening, the DXY is at a multi-3-year low simultaneously at the same time. And of course, if you didn't know, the DXY trades inversely with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Typically, this is a very, very good signal. While simultaneously at the same time, gold is absolutely going parabolic right now. And this is anti-Bitcoin and stocks. And I think it is at a topping structure. In fact, I am selling 30% of my gold. It's at the macro 2618. I will be selling 30% of my gold very, very soon. I buy gold and silver every single week. I'm a silver stacker. I have doubled my price on gold, and I'm very happy with that. My average price on gold is $1,500, $1,600. I'm very happy doubling my gold. Gold is not a cryptocurrency that you want to get 5, 10x gains from. I still buy silver every single week too, and I still think silver is a good value. But again, silver is more of a double. And I say all that to say, this is a perfect storm that is brewing for cryptocurrency. And what are we seeing from the Dow Jones? Strong move off of this critical level. I said, actually, okay, I'll be honest. I said that I thought that the stock market bottom was not in. But this looks like a strong move, which would be good for crypto again, typically. But I am certain that this was the spring for Bitcoin. This is the textbook spring. So selling climax, and then you have a secondary test in phase B. Textbook goes lower than the selling climax. Textbook. Secondary test in phase B goes lower than the selling climax. The spring textbook goes lower than the secondary test in phase B. That is textbook. We are somewhere in this neck of the woods right here, working on our first move out of the spring. Now, where I am not as sure, where I have a crazy level of certainty that the spring is in, I don't know. I think it's a high probability, but not as much clarity and certainty for the spring. The test would take us to 78K, 80K, somewhere in that neck of the woods. And let me show that for you. Okay. Hold on, I clicked on the wrong thing. Okay, so after the spring, you come up, you have this little move to the upside, and you come back to the test. The test would go to the same spot as the secondary test in phase B. Okay. So that would be about 78K, 77K. I have my limit orders in already in case it happens. But there is a scenario. You could say that this was the spring. Look how red this got. And that this is the test. So I think that this is a low probability that this is the test. I do think we're going to come back to 80K, 77K. I have my limit orders ready. I already have a long in on Bitcoin right now, presently. And all I would be doing, that long I put in at $78,500. All I would be doing was be adding to my position. So I have a limit long at 77K and 78K. That is the most probability of where we're coming to. And then we're going to continue to march higher, ultimately getting our sign of strength, which would be about 100K, somewhere in that neighborhood. Chop for a little bit before starting phase E. Phase E, of course, is the mark up. That's what we call the bull run. Okay. And one thing that I've been talking about a lot is, you know, this idea that people are talking out of both sides of their mouths. And what they'll say on this side of their mouth, they'll say, this is the worst bull market of all time. They'll say 4-year cycle's over. And then they'll say at the same time, see you in 4 years. Pack it up, see you in 4 years. 4-year cycle is over, see you in 4 years. 4-year cycle over, see you in 4 years. Which is it, my friend, my brother in Christ? Which is it? You cannot have both. If you want to tell me this is the worst bull market of all time, I will buy that for $1. But you know what causes violent bear markets? Violent bull markets. So if this is the worst bull market of all time, guess what? It's the best bear market of all time. If you want to tell me 4-year cycle is over, I'll buy it for $1. Do you know what that means, though? This was distribution. This is your markdown. We are deep in accumulation. I mean, deep. I mean, deep, my brethren in Christ. Deep. I have the 2021 fractal lined up right here. Deep. As in, the worst is behind us. So, lots of opportunities all around us. I am very bullish in the macro and even in the micro. I have some limit orders ready to strike. I'm not messing around because here's what retail is going to do. Retail is going to wait, and they're going to wait, and they're going to say, there's one more dip. There's just one more dip, and then we're all going to scoop in and buy the bottom. And I'm telling you, friends, it's not happening. Retail sentiment will not shift to bullish until we have already made a new all-time high. Until it's already too late. Until there's already lots of gains that have already happened. I.e., an example, when I made a video 7 days ago stating that this was the spring that the bottom was in at $74,400. I made that video 7 days ago. Go check it out. I said, bottom's in, boys. And I made my case why. What have we already done? Right now, even to the pullback. 12%. Do you understand that this is 2 years of stock market gains? In a matter of 7 days. Do you understand? This is 2 years of stock market gains. We're so spoiled in crypto that we don't know how big of a move that is. Do you understand? They're turning the friggin' frogs gay. And the squirrels are involved in the CIA. Do you understand? Time to buy. Do you think altcoin market cap will be 1 trillion? What are you counting as altcoin market cap? Are you counting the total 3? What are you counting as the altcoin market cap? Hey, Ski, do you think Solana can hit $1 this bull run? Absolutely plausible. 10 cents is my low case. $1 is my medium case. $5.89 is my bull case. It is my highest conviction play. What is the Dynex retrace? I think it's $3. I don't remember. It's starting to round the corner here, though, which is very good. Oh, no, it's 89 cents, 88 cents, which is still, my God. I mean, even just to the 0.5, we're talking to 20x. And it's very much getting a rounded bottom here, which is a good sign. I missed that. What is your highest conviction play? Solnic, S-O-L-N-I-C. ARG says, please briefly explain the difference of longs and shorts, the risk, and how do you personally do it, what program, etc. Okay, so I use BitUnex. That is how I leverage trade in the United States. If you want to use my referral code and support the channel, you can do that. You can leverage trade in the United States with no KYC. You just need an email. It's very quick, very easy, very simple. You can use your phone and or your computer and or your tablet. I like it. I've been using it for over a year now. And I like it the best that, you know, you don't have Big Brother. You know, I think the KYC stuff can be a little bit weird, and I like that it's a no KYC exchange. You just need an email. So that's the exchange that I use, BitUnex. A long essentially means that I'm placing a bet that the market will go up. A long means if you have your strike price here, if I place a long, that means I'm betting that the price will go up. If the price goes up after my strike price, I will make money. and then I can close the trade. If I place a short, essentially what that means is you sell high and buy low. You can either buy low and sell high, that is a long, or you can sell high and buy low. That's a short. You make money if the market goes down. Essentially, you sell the price of a good, whether it's a stock or a crypto, at a certain price, and you're betting that it will go down in value. So you sell high, and then you're going to rebuy it. You don't do this manually. When you put in a long or a short, it automatically does this for you. But I'm just explaining fundamentally what's happening. With a short, you sell it at a certain price, and you bet that it will go down in value. And then you can rebuy at that price once you close your trade, and then you pay back and you keep the difference. And the risk is, the more leverage you use, the quicker your trade will be wiped out. So if I do a 20x long, my God, that means a 5% move down. If I'm wrong by 5%, if I bet $1,000 on a 20x long, 5% wrong, my $1,000 is completely gone. But 5% right on a 20x, then I have 20x my money. Okay? 20x is an insane amount of leverage, way more than what people think it is. I personally mostly do 3x leverage. That's where I like to hang out at. I don't go above 5x. 5x trade means, a 10x trade means that 10% move wrong, your trade is completely wiped out. 5x would be 20%. Are you still buying spot or just doing futures? Absolutely, Web. I mostly do spot. I just DCA into spot, though, every week. So that is there you go. That's an explanation on but there's lots of risk with leverage trading. Most people are better off doing spot trading. And you can do the same principles, right? With just 1x leverage, i.e. spot. Like, you can buy on spot at limit orders. You can say, maybe you like Bitcoin at, right now, I have a limit order on Bitcoin at 78K. So I think that the value of Bitcoin is a little bit better at 78K than it is at 83K. Well, instead of doing leverage, you could just put a limit order, which means once the price goes to this mark price, it will automatically fill it, whether it's 3 in the morning and I'm sleeping or if I'm on my phone and I'm looking at it. It will automatically buy it at this price or short it at this price, whatever you put in. So limit orders are your friend. This forces you to do your actual analysis. And it's going to give you the best price. Did a token unlock today? Who did a token unlock today? So if you do a 3x long and the price has to go up 33%, so if you do a 3x long, the price has to go up 33% to get that 3x. Yeah, but you don't need a 3x. You know what I mean? Like, 3x is a lot. You can make a lot of money just by consistently minimizing risk, like I've been doing, i.e. stop losses at, certain prices. meaning it will automatically sell it at a loss, or, you know, like here's an example, like just stacking 20, 40, 50% gains is more than enough. Okay? Like you stack this over a period of time and you will 1, 2, 3x your account by minimizing losses, by managing risk and stacking wins and letting your wins ride. So what I do, and I teach this, is you have your thresholds where you want to exit some of your position, move your stop losses up to even, guarantee a win, and then let your wins ride. Great alpha ski. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate you, brother. Thoughts on SHIB? I think SHIB's a good value. SHIB you could put in the same class as all the other stuff of, like, you know, Ethereum has just been hemorrhaging, so a lot of stuff is feeling the blood of that, so to speak. Thanks for the Paul. Thanks for the tiny dinies, bro. You savages.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
So I can spot the trade at 1x. Yes, you certainly can. You could just do limit orders at spot. Like I use BitUnex, and you could just do a spot, like a spot limit order or a spot limit sell. You don't need to use leverage. You're going to have, you know, less ROI, but you're going to have way less risk. And the thing is, with cryptocurrency, there's enough volatility where you don't necessarily need to do crazy amounts of leverage, right? So I'll give you an example. I just realized that the TikTok has like a weird thing on this filter. It's like gray. Okay, so futures trading is what we're really talking about versus spot trading. The idea, like most people, futures trading is from the S&P, and a big move in the S&P would be 1%. Like no joke, that's 1,000 points. A 1% move in the S&P, that would be an insane amount of movement. So futures traders who trade the S&P 500, they're going to use like 200x leverage because there's not as big of moves, right? Nowhere near. Like a big move is a 1% move in a day, where when we look at crypto, like I don't even see any 1% moves today. The lowest I see, oh, here we go. The lowest I see is 0.5%. There we go. We got a couple. Most everything is 7%, 4%, 7%, 7%, 36%, 4%, 4%, 4%, 5%, 5%, 6%, 4%, right? So you don't need this crazy amount of leverage trading crypto because you use a lot of leverage trading futures to make up for the lack of volatility, but crypto automatically already gives you that same volatility that traders seek. So just trading spot in most cases is perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? Is adding margin to lower your liquidation good to do? It can be. That's a two-edged sword. You know, I think you should. I've been burned with this. I think you should have an analysis when you first make the trade. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. Like I have this with Quant. I already put it out on the group. What are my 3 trades? I have a move in Quant already. a trade on quant, and I have 2 others that I'm going to add to it if it gets to a certain price. I'm going to add it at X price, and then I'm going to add it again if we go to there. And then once you go there, you know, if you make your stop losses, you got to just eat that L. If you're doing spot, you can just let it ride. If you're doing spot, it's absolutely the move. But yeah, I definitely add to my positions a lot. Sometimes it causes a bigger loss though when it happens. But you win a lot more trades like that too. But I think it's important to do your analysis before you do the trade on when you're going to cut losses. All right. Oh my God. I tried TikTok. I really did. I really tried this time. All right, we're back to members only. We are back to members only on TikTok. I gave you one chance. And these idiots. Like, God forbid I teach people. Let me submit that. Let me appeal this real quick. I don't know what the move is on this. I don't know if I keep doing it like this and maybe eventually people get the idea that it's not going to work. Or if I just do members only. I'm not sure. Who turned out the lights? Telegram link. ZM, 2 NFTs, lifetime access. So the link is in my description for that. It should be in the description. But 2 NFTs get you lifetime access. I put out all my trades anytime I long, short, my holdings, anytime I buy or sell. And I try to upload one trading video, an educational video every week. Plus, the best part about the community is it has a group of like-minded individuals. That is the best part about it. But there's also books, free audiobooks in there that have helped me. If you're into meditations, breathing techniques, if you're into that kind of thing, I have the stuff that has helped me in there as well. But launch my NFT. Search hedge fund, 2 NFT, get you lifetime access. Just send proof. It's not a monthly subscription or anything like that. And all of the NFT sales go towards Solnic development and marketing. Haters on TikTok. I know, right? Do you think meme coin market cap would reach 1 trillion? What chart are you looking at to even measure that? I would be interested in knowing that chart, Smiley J. Do you have a chart that has meme coin market cap? What's your buy on quant? I put in a long on quant already. I have 2 more spots. Yeah, Ski Telegram's friggin' awesome. It should be there too in order to get the NFTs, bro. Also, the ebook will guide you there too. There's an ebook link, and that will tell you, like, it'll ask you, do you want the alpha? And if you say yes, it'll show you how to get that as well. Joseph, thanks for the $2 donation, bro. You savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
You weren't sub only on TikTok. I guess you knew that only subs could comment, though. I know, that's what I'm saying. I did like a... So I've been doing sub only this entire time, and I have had 0 issues. And I did a sub comment only. I was just seeing what I could get away with. So I did sub comment only on TikTok. And I guess we're going to sub only. So there we go. I mean, you guys see this. Like, you guys... Like, I just want you to know that I'm not trying to gatekeep you. I'm not trying to, like, oh, let me just make as much money as I possibly can. Let me just put it out there for them. So, like, it's not like that, bro. Like, it's literally like every time I do this for free, this is the result I get. So. And then what's going to happen is I already put in an appeal. They're going to approve the appeal in the next 30 minutes to 3 hours. And that'll be that. So, pretty dumb. Exian. It's all right. I'm used to it at this point. That was my fault. I was just seeing what I could get away with. I was like, I wonder if I could just do sub chat only. Nope. Sub only. What are my targets? Okay, so we already basically hit a retrace. De-risk level is 3.3 cents. And then 7.4 cents. And then 15 cents. So those are my 3 targets. Is the AMA tomorrow with any outsiders or just you and mom? There will be. I don't know if... I don't know if it's going to be the first time we do it, but they're definitely going to be regular. There's going to be guests that we have on for sure. Yeah, that and fakes on TikTok suck. I am almost certain it's competition, so to speak. But that's okay. It is what it is. Let's see if they approved it. Not yet. You think Dynex and Rose can retrace to all-time high? Earl, I think they will retrace, and I think there's plausibility that they go all-time high. What coins do you like to trade? I do the best on Bitcoin and VeChain, to be honest. I definitely do way better on blue chips. Sometimes I like to trade. I like to short like nonsense, and I'll do little stabs and stuff, but I never do well with that stuff. I consistently do well trading Bitcoin, VeChain, ADA. Those are coins I consistently do well at. Theta, I usually do pretty well at Theta. The ones I don't do as well at are like if I'm just trying, like the other day I tried to... It was a good trade, by the way, because it's up 27%. But yesterday I tried to like put in a type trade. I'm like, this is going to have a dead cat bounce on OM. And that got stopped out pretty soon. But that's the type of stuff I don't do as well on. But the blue chips, I consistently do very, very well. XRP for me is hit or miss. XRP is a difficult one to trade. I've had big wins with XRP and big losses with XRP. But I find myself consistently having a read where Bitcoin is at. So I always go back to Bitcoin. It's less volatile, it's less fun, it's less sexy, but I'm just about stacking wins and being consistent. I bet it was Trump reporting you. Yeah, it must have been. Thoughts on Hex? I don't know about Hex. I don't know what to think about Hex, to be honest. Let's see. Man, I think it's a high risk, high reward, but I think that there's better risk proposition. I don't mind this chart micro, and I do think that you could get to just shy of 1 cent just off of a micro retracement, and then a micro parabolic would be 3.3 cents. So I think that those are definitely in play. It's a very high risk, high reward play. This tells me, and man, it's a hard coin to evaluate too, because coin market cap has like a vendetta against Hex for some reason. Like they have weird information about Hex. So it's hard to analyze Hex because coin market cap has they have them as the 3,000th ranked coin, but they have the market cap at 3.6 billion and the FDV as the same. So this would tell you that there's no bad tokenomics on Hex, even though like the narrative is that there is. Maybe if I go to CoinGecko, but they definitely have a weird vendetta against Hex for sure. CoinMarketCap for sure does. Let's see. See, I don't know what to make of this. I think it's a high risk, high reward play. It's hard to analyze because I don't know about the supply. The point that I'm getting at is when I measure, if I go to Crypto Bubbles, so you just saw it has it as the 3,000th ranked coin. But if I go on Crypto Bubbles, it's like it's top 100 or top 300. You know what I mean? Like it's right there. So how is it like number 93 on CoinMarketCap or Crypto Bubbles, excuse me? But when we go to CoinMarketCap, it's number 3,300. And so I don't have great information on Hex to properly analyze it, is what I'm saying. But just off of charts, I do think it's a high risk, high reward play. And I do think just the micro, we could get the 3.3 cents. I don't know what the ROI for that is. That's a 10x plus. But there is a chance that you hit macro targets. You know, I mean, if you were to macro retrace, you're talking a 7,000% gain. But I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to... I don't know what the tokenomics are on this because I've heard lots of different things, but then I see lots of different things on information. So it's something is weird. I don't know. I don't know what to make of Hex. So there you go. Sorry. We heading below 80K. That would be the test. I have my limit orders in at 78K and 77K. So textbook, we already talked about this. Textbook, Wyckoff accumulation. Spring was 74.4 in my opinion. We are working on this. The test would take us back to 78K. I have my limit orders in already. How about Link? I like Link. I think I put in a trade on Link today. I think that I put in a limit order. I know. I think it got hit already. What do you think crypto's biggest use case is? Sovereignty. I think a lot of the ethos of silver and gold are a lot of the ethos of crypto, but I think it's superior in a lot of ways. To me, I use crypto in conjunction with that. But I think a lot of like the hardcore silver stackers have a lot in common with the hardcore crypto people. And I'm not talking about, the gamblers. I'm talking about like the people who are really about it. So for me, it's a Venn diagram and there's a lot of overlap. But I like certain things about silver and gold that Bitcoin can't necessarily do, in that it's physical. But everything else, I think that they do, and it's digital, and it's easier to, that's one of the main use cases is sovereignty. I would say that the speed of money flow, I don't know what you would call money flow, but ACH transactions are a nightmare. I don't know anybody that has a business, when you're waiting 5 days to wait for a ACH transaction to clear, it's a nightmare. Where Bitcoin is the slowest and it takes 10 minutes. So the speed of information that can go back and forth and the money supply of things that can go back and forth, it's like the old adage of like the guy comes in, he puts $100 bill for the hotel. The hotel goes and pays his debt for the farmer pays his debt for the dentist goes and pays blah blah blah, and it makes its way back to the hotel, and the guy says, you know what, never mind. But all the debts got paid, but nothing, no money was actually exchanged. Right? It's the old adage about that. But like crypto is like that, but on steroids, like just the speed of information that can happen. That's a big deal. One of the biggest crises in banks is liquidity. That's why Silicon Valley Bank went to zero. Like, I think that you would have a way less risk of bank runs if you have the speed of XRP, if you have the speed of Solana, if you have the speed of even Ethereum or Bitcoin, versus waiting 3 to 5 business days for a transaction to clear. That's going to be useful for banks. Like, why did Silicon Valley Bank go to zero? The speed of crypto. Yeah, the speed of crypto to me, and the sovereignty / transparency, those are the big three for me. What if Joe Biden rug pulled the gold in Fort Knox? That's right. That's a funny thing to think, but that's not going to happen with Bitcoin. What could Rose and Matic retrace to? I think Rose is 30 something, 30 cents. Matic is $2. All right, guys, I'm gonna watch the play and with my family. So I'll be live tomorrow. What time am I live tomorrow? What's my schedule looking like, boys? Tomorrow, 5 to 6 p.m. The Solnick Twitter AMA. And then I'll be live same time on YouTube and TikTok, 7 p.m. Central Time. Friday, I'll be live Thursday, I'll be live 5 to 7 p.m. Friday, I'll be live 9 a.m. to 10:30 with Alex. And then I will also be live 3:30 Central Time / 4:30 Eastern Time with Mario on Twitter. Saturday, 4 to 5:30 p.m. And then Sunday, I will be off. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this time. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Peace, love, prosperity. God first. God bless.
Damn hustling, 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 hustling,
It's your
hustling,
boy,
hustling,
Ski.
hustling, hustling.